Yo, 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 shouts out to Z Notes Masters. Yeah. If you are watching me over on Facebook, I need you to come in. I need you to step in. I need you to come through. Right over to YouTube. Put in @Christina Butterfly, @Becoming a Butterfly podcast. Either one to get you right to me. Be sending shots out to Z Notes Masters, who creates all of the beats on my podcasts, on my videos. You want to find some beats for behind the scenes on your videos? Go check out ZNoteMaster_ on Instagram. Check out and listen to this good beat while we wait for some people to come on in the room. Yes. Yo, this is truly one of my favorite beats that my son has made. Like, I remember the first time I heard it, I was asleep, y'all. It woke me up out my sleep. I was like, yo, what is that? What is that? Ew. And I'm not even a rap girl. Like, I'm not. But when I heard it, I said, yo, whoever spits on this is gonna be fire, yo. Yes. Listen here. I don't know what my boy be doing, but he be going in that studio and be killing it. You understand me? Hey. And if you are watching me right now on Facebook, go on over and check me out on YouTube, Becoming a Butterfly podcast. Or you can put in @Christina Butterfly. You can check out and hear this music that we over here jamming to. Hey, hey. Yes. All right. We're going to give it a couple more minutes. We're going to play our disclaimer. Hey. We're going to talk about ego today, y'all. How we going to keep our ego in check as we enter into this new full moon. This full moon in Leo on the 25th. Shouts out to the Queen Poe, who always sends us the best information. The link is in the description. I'm sorry, no, the link is in the comment. If you would like to check out that video from Queen Poe on the full moon in Leo, journal prompts and what to expect. And one of her prompts, she was telling us that it's the time of Leo. It's the full moon in Leo, and how we need to really check our ego. So we going to talk about ego today, y'all. Yes. All right. All right, so let's go into our disclaimer, and then we're going to get into today's podcast episode. This is a mental health disclaimer. Now, before we get into it, you guys, just a heads up, I am not a certified mental health professional. What I share here is based on personal experience and my opinion. If you are dealing with a serious mental health crisis or you need to speak to someone immediately, reach out to a professional. They know what to do and they have you. The information and advice I give are for general insight, not a substitute for professional help. Your choices are your own, not mine. Let's do this journey together. And remember, it's all about personal growth. Now, let's get into today's episode. All that went through. But if all goes well, y'all, we will be having some better internet in the next couple of weeks. But welcome to the Butterfly Podcast, the place where it's never too late to become your better self. I am your host, Christina Butterfly, also known as Chrissy the Artist. And welcome to another live, another week. I'm so excited. I love these lives because it forces me to show up every week for for my podcast. You know, I pre-recorded all of my episodes that's drop on Thursday, but doing this live makes me show up every week. Like, I'm not just sitting back and just relying on my one video. You know, it makes me show up to show that I'm here, to show what I'm currently dealing with and going through. You feel what I'm saying? One of the reasons why I chose ego, because you know the Queen Poe had different journal prompts for, you know, different things to do work on. This is the shadow period. The shadow period lasts between the 22nd all the way up to the 28th, and the full moon is on the 25th, which means that you do introspective work. You work on what you want to release. What do you need to do within yourself to let go so you can start manifesting, bringing in those things that you deserve? So today we're going to talk about ego, checking our ego. Something that's, I'm not going to act like it's something easy for me to do, because it's not. It really isn't. You know, being the oldest, being a mother, having a grown kids. And what happens to kids turn 18 and all of a sudden they are growner than you? Like they now they know more than you. All of a sudden you was the one they confided to, and now all out of nowhere you don't know nothing. You just an idiot, right? So I find myself battling with my ego often. So I said, you know what? I always want to be fully transparent on this podcast. You know, I don't want to just show up like I got all the answers, because if I did, I wouldn't be on welfare. I wouldn't be on Social Security, and I'll already be a millionaire if I had all the answers. But going through this process, in order for you to elevate, you got to work on yourself. Like, you can't think that God is going to bless you with all this money, bless you with such a breakthrough, bless you with so many finances. Hold on, y'all. Oh, I need some water. There's no way. There's absolutely no way in the world that we are ever supposed to believe that we have to just only work on the work, only work on the dream, and not do the shadow work. Okay. And so the beautiful time about full moons and new moons is that it's the perfect time to work on those things, because the energy aligns with it. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like such a tug of war when you recognize that this is what the energy is. I know I deal with issues with my ego on, you know, when you have your house, you know, your home, it belong to you, your name on the lease, right? I have people who I allowed to live and move into my home, and I'll have find myself having to say, like these are the rules that I'm not having in my house, and it kills me how offended people get when you start saying like this is my house. Like you find yourself looking in the mirror like this is my house, ain't it? You know what I mean? And so you got that battle, that tug of war, and I'm trying to learn how to stand sturdy and stand strong without having to be loud, the loudest one in the room, Cause I'm a yeller, y'all. Like you gonna hear me. I know it comes from being younger and feeling like my voice was never heard, being violated and, you know, being abused, mentally and physically and emotionally. Those things teach you put yourself in a position where you feel like you don't have a voice. And so when you're trying to get your voice back, sometimes it's such a tug of war. Most times it's a tug of war. And a lot of times it gets to the point where you got to do a self check-in and check in with yourself and your ego, And to know the difference between being confident and being egotistical. And so today we just gonna go into some 5 tips on how to check your ego, you know? Now, if you notice, guys, your girl, I got my earrings. And if you check out the comments, Mommy's Elegant Crafts, my baby girl last week checked in while I was live on the podcast. And she makes these amazing crochet, like amazing. And last week I was telling y'all, like I kind of like broke it, snatched the ear part apart. So I wanted to show y'all, come back and like, it's together, it's good, and it's a great investment. Like it does not take her long to make them at all. And if you love real unique, different, crafty type jewelry or anything, my baby girl, she can crochet whole baby. She preferred to do baby clothes, and she preferred to do like toys or gifts, all she's really amazing. So go check her out on Instagram at mommies.elegant.crafts, right on Instagram. All right, guys, I wanted to make sure I threw that in there. We got to support our childrens, especially when they're doing everything they can. And my baby girl got twins, y'all. Like she does it. She don't play no games about them babies at all. Ooh, I still got to get used to when you go on live and start talking and how dry and dehydrated your mouth can get doing this thing. So checking our ego, navigating the depths of our self-reflection, like really going in deep and checking you. A lot of times, like I said, we're not good at that, people. We're not. We think we got all the answers. We always right. You know what I hate? I hate when my kids tell me some crap and I'm 10 toes down and find out them niggas was right. Oh, oh, I be mad. Oh, I be mad, yo. I hate when somebody try and check me. You get to a certain age, you get like my age, 44, like you grown. I'm grown. Like who I know this thing. And most times we gotta realize if you get to the point in life you know everything and you can't learn nothing, you might as well lock yourself in and disappear. Like when you get to the point where you got all the answers and nobody can teach you nothing, might as well hang it up. And so a lot of times I have to say that to myself, like, Chrissy, girl, you can learn something. You can apologize. You can remove your ego. It's not going to take no skin off your back. You was wrong. Just admit it. And my ego be like, they'll get over it. My ego be like, whatever. I'm usually right most of the time. You feel what I'm saying? So let's go into step one. Understanding your ego's role. The definition behind this is unpack the layers of your ego and explore its influence on your thoughts, actions, and relationships. Gain a deeper understanding of how your ego shapes your perception. And a lot of that has to do with our ego comes from things that we have gone through in our lives. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know that a lot of the yelling that I do is based on I felt like for so many years no one heard me. And people overpowered me in my own space. And I didn't understand that I allowed it to happen. And once I realized I allowed it to happen, I was fighting like hell to make sure it didn't happen again. And so you have to learn a balance. You know, that thing isn't always easy. You feel what I'm saying? And ego plays a big part. And the ego is also there to protect us. You feel what I'm saying? Like, without no ego at all, you just out here in the wind. You know, it's a part of that ego that is more so of your confidence and your boundaries that you need. You need a little bit of that ego to have the audacity to live your life in full. You know, so I'm not going to sit here and talk of the ego as if we just need to denounce it altogether. But what's important is to understand the role that that ego is playing. And is it playing a role of your betterment, or is it holding you back? You know, like we have to come to understand that sometimes we put ego in a position in our lives where as though it's holding your back. It's not making you stronger. You're not creating boundaries. You're creating enemies. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're not showing yourself with strength. What you're doing is showing yourself weak because you're the loudest one screaming and hollering, begging for some respect that your presence alone needs to show that. You know, my mother, y'all, hold on. Sorry about that on Facebook. If you watch me on Facebook, y'all sure enough heard that cough. But my mother 4'11", y'all. Let me tell y'all what's so funny. My father was 6'5", and my mother at 4'11", right? Now, I'll never forget, it's a couple incidents, but one in particular is my father telling me how he would never play a hitting game with my mom. And I'm like, how? He was like, listen, when they first got married, and my mom told me the same story, when they first got married, you know, the little, playing little hitting games and the cute little, yeah. My dad said my mom hit him so hard. He was like, I ain't playing this. Nope, never again. I'm good. I'm all the way good. Like, this little lady, her hands, she got grown man hands. Like, she just little in stature. That's it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Her presence demand. She don't have to yell. She don't have to scream. My mother 4'11" self can walk into a room and you would instantly, my oldest son is about 5'11", 6 feet tall. He had put his hands on me, not, physically, hitting, but he restrained me, So I'm on the phone with my mom. He put his hands on me. My mother gets my sister to bring her down here, y'all, 2 a.m. 4'11", y'all. She turned around. She didn't even get out the car. She got to look up at my son when he on his knees. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? And sure enough, she looked up at him and said, you put your hands on my daughter? That boy was to his knees. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Grandma. You feel me? You don't have to be the loudest. You ain't even got to be the tallest. And I want to get to that point where I can step into a room and understand that just because I might not feel like I got it. You understand me? To walk into a room and know that the choices that I'm making, I'm standing on it. I'm good. I got this. And for my presence to say it, not my ego, not to have to come out here, but what about me? And have to remember and check that I'm not that scared little girl no more. You a grown woman. You have control. You have control. Tip 2 is to recognize your triggers. Y'all. And if you need to write down your triggers, I truly, my goal for the next quarter is to start working on, um, free PDFs and, free templates and, little things to be able to help us, like truly help us. We know writing things down brings scripting. I believe in all this. But I also need that a lot of times we need to write down those things that trigger us because we have it all clouded up in our head. And we think we know what it is, but you don't. You got to write it down. You got to put words to them feelings so you can recognize when that feeling come. Oh, this is what it is. It don't have nothing to do with you. It's the fact that I'm still triggered by how I was treated at this age, or when this person did this to me. I still don't go in basements, y'all. I still don't go in basements. And I haven't told that story yet. It's very difficult if that basement ain't fully furnished to the T. Like, I go down there and forget that it's in the basement. That's about the only way. I don't think I've been in my basement. I've been in my house for over 10 years. I've been in my basement maybe 3 times since I've been in this house. I don't do it. But I know that that's a trigger. You feel what I'm saying? Some things you just keep yourself protected. And some things you have to heal from. You have to recognize it. You have to heal. You have to acknowledge. This is why we're not elevating in life. This is why you keep finding yourself in the same situation, in the same position, and going over the same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's truly because we're not healing. We're not doing the work to recognize the triggers and to heal. So let's do this. The definition: learn to identify the triggers that activate your ego. By recognizing these triggers, you can proactively manage your reactions and cultivate emotional intelligence. I remember one time my daughter said something and it pissed me off. It did. It had me angry, and I started snapping. I'm yelling, cussing at her. She all the way in Philly. I'm all the way in Jersey, and I'm spazzing. We are going off. And this argument that we had, it lasted for years. You feel what I'm saying? And it had a lot to do with my ego. I done apologized 150 million times for y'all upbringing. I've changed my entire life. You feel what I'm saying? Even in the midst of y'all upbringing, like we go into that, I did this, I did that, I did. And I could very well be right. And in some ways I was. But it got to the point where I had to remove my ego and ask myself, is it more important for me to be right? Or is it more important for me to help my daughter heal so she could be the best mother she could be for her 3 daughters? You understand me? Like, that's where you really, that's when you got to go and apologize for some shit you don't feel like you ain't got no need to apologize for no more. Or apologize for something ain't got nothing to do with you. But to put yourself in a position of wanting peace over being right, wanting peace over saying that, I got all the answers. Listen, if you're watching me for the first time, I need you to subscribe. If you are watching me over on Facebook, guys, I need you to at least go over to YouTube and subscribe. Make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, guys. Okay? Go over there. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Leave me a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that your girl is here to stay. Okay? And if you enjoy me watching me on Facebook, I need you to make sure that I'm good on YouTube as well. Okay? But recognize your triggers, guys. Write them down. Write down that thing that triggers you, that causes you to automatically put up this wall, and you're no longer thinking clearly. You're not responding clearly. You just you checked out. You feel what I'm saying? And is that word, is that for your elevation? Is that for you to get better? You know, a lot of times my mom used to say, hey, you going spike what was that? Take snatch your phone and just knows to spite your face. You know, like you're so angry and just want all of this respect. And I had to learn that respect don't have anything to do with the words that come out of your mouth. It really doesn't. In fact, you get respect, by giving it. By giving it as much as you can, you show up, you show respect. So much so when a person disrespect you, you ain't even got to do nothing. Everybody else around you could be like, her, you disrespect that one, the one who'll do take the shirt off her back for you. You played her. That's where I want to get to the point. I want to get to the point that anything that someone does to me can't affect me, because I have to understand that they're not doing it to me. They're doing it to themselves. You know, it's not, we all know that's not easy said than done. I'll tell people quick, I'm not easily triggered until it comes to my kids. And then all of a sudden I ain't got no sense. None whatsoever. None. The whole time somebody can say whatever they want to me, talk about me, call me names, I don't give a damn. Let it be one of my kids. Oh, I'm ready for war. Either I'm ready to fight for them or fight them. But I'll be ready for war. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to keep being that way. It takes up so much energy. You feel what I'm saying? I'm giving away so much free space in my head. I need to charge these fools some rent. You know, I can't keep living my life allowing my ego to react first. You understand what I'm saying? I want my ego to show up in courage. I want my ego to show up for me when I need to stand tall. I need my ego to show up when I sit here at this camera and sit here and look at this camera knowing that I'm speaking to someone that needs to hear this. You feel what I'm saying? That's when I want my ego to show up. I want it to give me the strength to have the confidence to sit here, have the courage to sit here and believe in myself, not slide into this mindset of which I just heard the word earlier today. It's a imposter syndrome. You feel what I'm saying? To not allow myself to even let that seep into my head. That's what I need my ego for. But I don't want my ego to keep showing up every time somebody say something that hurt my feelings, and now I'm ready to beat on my chest because I'm he woman. You feel what I'm saying? So recognize them triggers so you'll realize this. Okay, this is what pisses me. Let me give me 5 minutes. I need about 5 minutes. I'm about to cuss you out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what you have to do. Cultivating self-awareness. You know, I feel like a lot of times we give other people the responsibility of our feelings and emotions. You know what I mean? You know that saying, like, you making me mad. You feel what I'm saying? You gonna make me, I had that habit, my kids, like, your actions is causing me to do this, that, and the third, and this, that, and the other. I really want to get to the point that I don't care what you're doing. You're not going to I'm not going that way. I'm just not. I don't care. What you doing is not going to affect me either way, no matter who it is, including my children. You understand what I'm saying? I want to be able to make a decision and stick to it. My kids can get my when I tell you my sons can get my pockets, especially that eldest. Now he'll give it back. He'll give it back with no problem. It might take him a minute, but he'll give it back with no problem. Right? But I want to be able to set boundaries. And I have to say, guys, I set these boundaries. I stuck to it. It was, oh my goodness, it was amazing. And when it got to the point where I knew he needed me, I was able to have it. And he was good. It was just like, oh my goodness. like this thing can really work. It amazes the more you learn about these skills and you apply these things, these different skills and techniques into your life, just so you can have a more of a happier, stress-free life. We feel like it's impossible for us to have this stress-free life. We really do. We really believe it's completely impossible for us to have this life. But the truth of the matter is that we gotta work our behinds off to understand that not only we deserve a stress-free life, but we gotta believe it. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not to say that nothing never ever is going to happen, but it's learning how to act and react to things that, especially if it's out of your control. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, I had to come to an agreement about paying off some back rent that I still don't feel like I'm supposed to pay back. I feel like it's completely unfair. But am I going to keep crying about it? No. Hey, listen. Let's make this arrangement. And now that we have this arrangement together, I feel like I can breathe now. Now I can feel like, and if by chance, and see, this is another thing. When you do what you really don't want to do just for a peace of mind, watch how God works. Because he recognized that you're doing this thing that you really don't want to do. You ain't got no intentions. This is the last thing on this earth you want to do, right? But you will work your behind off to say, you know what? This is what it takes for me to have a peace of mind, and fine. Fine. My mom told me one day I took a loss and it was some money, but it was a lot of headache that came behind it. And fighting to get this money back was just a pain. It was such a pain. And my mom said to me one day, she said, Chrissy, money gonna come and go. But if losing this money is going to give you the peace of mind that you need because it's stressing you out, then allow it to give you that peace of mind and you go on with yourself, go on with your life. You're going to get that money back. And sure enough, I have. I've learned that the things that I've lost is temporary. This isn't permanent. This is temporary. And we got to decide to say, you know what? You're right. You're right. I do not have to live my life like I owe it to anybody else. What I'm going through right now is a temporary situation. And the only thing I need to do is stay focused on the goal. You know what I mean? Come up with a plan for that. All right, that's a plan. Still going in this direction. I'm still moving forward. Guys, listen. I work very hard to show up here with y'all every week. I really do. I've been figuring out ways to move some money, invest some things, get rid of some stuff. I'm taking a lot of sacrifices for this podcast. So if your heart desires, if you feel it in your soul to go ahead and to send me an offering, a donation, my Cash App is rolling on the bottom of the screen. If you're watching me on Facebook, you can send me some stars. But your love offering would truly be appreciative. It will go right to the podcast so that I can continue to show up. I have to get better internet. I have to. And I had to move some things around and figure it out, y'all. Like, that's just the truth of the matter. But I noticed that God blessed me in other ways. And so I'm going to go ahead and invest into what I know, my purpose and what I'm supposed to do. And this podcast is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I want it to be a good, experience for all of us. I want the video quality to be good. I want you to be able to hear me. I don't want it to be all glitchy, and so unfortunately that's what I'm dealing with right now. So if you are, feeling this content, you learning something and you gaining anything from it, please show your love. Your girl will appreciate it. All right. Let's go into tip number 4. Embracing humility. Embracing humility. Explore the transformative power of humility in the ego. Check in progress, growth, impact, empathy, and more meaningful connections with others. Guys, this is really the way of being able to bring your ego in check. And it's being grateful, waking up every day. When you wake up in gratitude, you wake up with that this ain't about me, because I didn't do anything. You feel what I'm saying? All I did was be obedient. When you recognize and realize that, embracing humility, to be humble, choosing to say, you know what, God, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for having me be in my right mind. We walk past people every day that having full-blown conversations with themselves. You understand what I'm saying? They talking to the answer, they asking the question and answering it. And it very well could be you. All it took was one wrong pill. Hello, somebody. Huh? Thank God fentanyl wasn't out here when I was snorting up Peru, okay? I'm telling you. Thank God they went out here slipping people with no fentanyl when I was out here snorting more cocaine than a little bit. Do you understand me? So every day of waking up in gratitude makes it difficult for you to slide into your ego all the doggone time, talking about what you did, when you living in that mindset of, I'm so grateful to even be here. I'm grateful that you decided to allow me to wake up this morning, to have another day, to do whatever I need to do to try to get it right. Because every day you wake up is another opportunity, is another chance, is another day for you to make a different decision than you made yesterday. I'm not one of them people who you can keep coming to me and complaining to me about the same shit over and over again. I'm not that girl for that. I'm not. I'm going to let you vent the first time and mind my business. You come back again, I'm going to give you some advice. Because I used to be one of them people. I've always had the gift of advice. I've always had the gift. I can hear your story and know what you need to be able to get out of the situation. I wasn't that great at it for myself, but I was amazing at it for other people. But I found myself, I kept giving unsolicited advice. Like, I'm giving you all this and you really just, you don't give a damn. You just want somebody to vent to. Okay. All right. You get away with that with me the first time. The second time, listen, either you want to make a decision about the situation or keep coming. I'm not that girlfriend, because now I'm going to get pissed, because now I'm going to feel like you're weak. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're weak. Your mind is weak. Your spirit is weak. Your soul is weak. And I can't, not that I've had anything to do against you. It's the fact that I can't deal with that energy. I can't be in that energy. I can't spend my day keep trying to lift you up and convince you the best you're supposed to be. I can't do it. If you know that this man is going to beat on you the second you do anything to piss him off, and instead of you choosing to leave, you want to keep trying to figure out ways to make him happy, I'm not the girl to come to for that, because I'm going to help you plan your escape. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm the one outside with the getaway car. But what are we doing? And if it gets too late, I'm kicking indoors. I got cousins that's 6 feet tall. Shout out to my family. Yo, we ain't playing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm bringing a team. What are we doing? But you're not going to be calling me for the next month telling me about this man keep putting his hand. I'm not the girlfriend for that. I'm not. Because now it's affecting my spirit. It's affecting my energy. And I ain't signed up for that. Okay? We got off track a little bit, but somebody needs to hear it. Embracing humility means that you allow yourself to put yourself in a place to help others, to be there for others. One of the things I want to do a whole lot more of is feeding the homeless, because I was homeless and I was the one being fed at one point. When I first got to Trenton, I had to eat at the soup kitchen. Huh? Hello, somebody. I had to eat at the soup kitchen. When I first got here, I had to rely on people who was willing to come and give of their time and feed people who was less fortunate. We have to learn how to give. We have to, y'all. We have to. We have to make decisions to step outside of ourselves. Being selfish, stepping into your season of selfishness, a part of that is also knowing when it's time to be giving, when it's time to be thoughtless. You feel what I'm saying? I'm sorry, thoughtful of others and be thoughtless of yourself. Like, honestly, it has to be a time where you know, this isn't about me. That's your tithes. Tithing is not always about money. You feel what I'm saying? Tithing is about giving your time to those who need it most. And that's something that I definitely, for myself, have to take more serious in my life. I can honestly say that I don't donate my time. Now, my home was opened up for many years for runaways. So, this might be my period of just chilling for a little bit, because for many years, my home was just open to young kids who needed somewhere to be and needed somewhere to go. And honestly, I did that because I was that runaway and people had opened the door for me, and it was my way of paying it forward. I didn't always come across those who truly appreciated it, but I'm sure that I will reap that reward in that when God is ready for me to harvest it, So I'm grateful for it. And every now and then I'll see a kid who'll show up who, show their gratitude and, and tell me, thank you, Miss Chris, that, it feels good. But it has to start with embracing humility, okay? And last, but certainly not least, is balancing confidence and your ego. To balance the difference. Find the delicate balance between confidence and ego. Discover how to harness your confidence without letting it morph into arrogance, fostering a healthier sense of self-assurance. Wow. And it's crazy when you really think about it, because it's definitely a fine line of you showing up confident in your skin and showing up ego like you better than anybody in the room and y'all lucky to be in my presence, boo. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's a big difference when you make a decision to say, I'm standing here fully confident as a black woman, staying strong, but also loving my sisters that's here with me and uplift and encourage my sisters here with me. You understand what I'm saying? We're all queens. We all stand right in our strength. You feel what I'm saying? There's a difference. There's a difference in showing up of you being the best thing in the room and the show up being a part of a community of strength. There is such a difference, And I want to be a part of the community that all of us are strong. That we all, and if you're weak, we're all weak. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to lift you up so we all can be on the same. Come on, sister. Just say we're not going to beat you down when you already down. But make sure that you're ready to fight for yourself. I'm one of them people, you got 24 hours to wallow in whatever. Because out 24 hours, I'm in this bed. I'm going to cry all the boo-hoos, all the woe is me. And when them 24 hours is up, and now it's time for action. Now it's time. What's the plan? What's the next step? Truthfully, after them 24 hours is up, now it's what did I do? What part did I play? What part of the role? What part of this responsibility do I need to take in? Right? And then it's now I need to learn what was in this situation, the lesson I needed to learn. And it don't always reveal itself like that just because you ask it. But when you ask it, you give the universe a way of answering that question. You feel me? But you got to ask it. You got to look for it. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. So understanding that you want to show up confident, you want to have your ego there, your ego shows up in a positive way. You feel what I'm saying? You don't want your ego to enter the room before you do. You understand me? Like, no. Don't be that one. Especially you men out there. I feel like men stand on so much ego that it's like it's almost like a wall. You feel what I'm saying? And you, us women, we can see it clear as day. Like, yo, that's stupid. Like what you're saying, what you're doing don't make any sense. But you so all in, but you the one right. I can't stand them. You the only one right type people. I can't stand them. Your way is the only way. You got all the answers, you and only you. Lord, help us all. There's a billion people in this world, and God gave you the only answer. Well, ain't that something? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I can't stand it. There is many different ways to get to the same place. You feel me? I'm one of them people. I can't stand the main highway. I'm from Philly, y'all. I can't stand Broad Street. I hate it. I can't stand it. I will go everywhere else to drive except for Broad Street. My stepdad goes straight to Broad Street. Oh, straight to Broad Street. It's many different ways to get to the same place. One place might take a little longer. It might take you a little longer. And for some people, they need that. There are times where I have to go down Broad Street. See, listen, that's another thing, y'all. To know when you're supposed to detour and know when you can't. That you got to go this way. It's something you got to learn. You got to learn. If you keep trying to detour, you're never going to learn the lesson. So recognize it, okay? Recognize when you got to balance that confidence and that ego, because being confident will give you if you're confident, you don't have a problem asking for help and for direction. If you stand it in your ego, you will be lost and keep being lost and keep being lost and won't tell nobody else around you that you lost. If you one of them who don't want to admit that you're standing in your flaw, that you made a mistake, that you need help, you're living in your ego. But if you can get up and stand up and say, listen, I don't know, I need some help, you are living in your confidence. You know who you are as a person and you believe in it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to act like it's easy. It's parts of my life that I'm extremely confident in. And it's a parts of my life that my ego shows up more than I like it to. But we have to be honest. We have to be transparent. And when your brother or your sister or your friend says to you, listen, honey, that sounds a little egoish. I had a girlfriend who, Lord have mercy, she would tell you about your life and would check you about your life. But God forbid if you tell her about her. God forbid if you tell her, girl, you tripping, you wrong. God forbid. But she'll check you all day long about you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how is this a true friendship when you supposed to be, you got all the answers and I'm the idiot and I'm older than you? Come on. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we can't treat people that way. We can't. Just because it's not what you would do don't make it wrong. We got to learn to accept and respect people for who they are. When your ego stands in it for shows up before you do, that's when you think you got the answer for yourself and everybody else. Okay? There are fundamental things that we need in order for us to elevate to our better self. And that absolute is mindset shifting, working on yourself, believing in yourself. You know, these are things is what we have to have. But just because you write in your journal every single day, every morning, every night, full paragraphs, don't mean that that's what I have to do. Do I have to, is writing in my journal beneficial for my growth? Absolutely. But that don't mean that I got to do a 4-page essay like you do. in order for me to get my elevation. You understand what I'm saying? So know that it's certain things that you cannot take detours with. We can't. But there are some things that you can. And when you recognize that's your detour path, oh yeah, this is my detour right here, then you go ahead and take it. But when it's not, and you don't recognize it, you're going to be going in circles. You're going to be going in circles, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed the live today. I hope you come through again next week. If you're watching the replay and this is your first time watching me, thank you so much. Please take the time out. If you watch the whole video, you done watch the whole thing, you just might as well go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit the bell icon so you'll be notified every time I drop a new video. All right. In the description, I have linked to last week's video in the description. We have a new video coming out this Thursday at 7. So make sure that you are tuned in, okay? I certainly enjoy showing up here every week. Talking to y'all is talking to myself. It uplifts and encourages me. I look forward to coming and showing up doing this podcast as much as I hope that you look forward to watching me. Please, if you are watching me on Facebook, if you're watching me on Instagram, I need you to make sure that you go over to Becoming a Butterfly Podcast on YouTube. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, guys. I love you so much. We will be back here same time, same place next week, honey. All right. Thank you, my beautiful butterflies. And you have a blessed week. And remember, nothing in life is happening to you, but everything in life is happening for your greatness. All right. Love you. Butterflies. Make sure you put some butterflies in the chat. Butterflies in the chat.